Good morning. Invite people. Please, let's invite people. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Paul-Esupofo. Thank you for joining once again. I'm happy to be here again. Well, sometimes I look at myself and say, what kind of mystery is it behind this? Your consistency and focus of the 9:30 or before 9:30, you are preparing yourself. I discover whatever you have done over the time, over and over, it becomes part and parcel of you. And one of the things I also see is that you need to understand the principles and the joy of the Lord given to you. I'm still on Dapo, Adelugba, on theater art practice in Nigeria. This book is a very blessed book. It's a wonderful book. Compiled interview by Professor ADEMOLA O.DASYLVA. Is a very powerful man. Is in the Department of English, University of Ibadan, and is still doing a very good work. I tell you, I'm so delighted to continue the notes as I started yesterday. And after this class, I'm going to go to my main profile page to do one thing this morning. This topic this morning is very hard. Oh God, the title is Time to Fight. Fight. It's time to fight. It's time to fight. You know, I was just when I was in the restroom and I was thinking, what kind of topic is this one? We need not cause war. It's time to fight. That's the topic this morning. It's time to fight. All right, let's go. Everybody, please go ahead and share. Invite people. Invite as many people as possible. Invite as many people as possible, and let's talk about it. Let's talk and talk and talk. I love something that I will still come up with. I love it, and I like going in the environment of people who really understand the principles and the joy of what we do. All right, so let's go to the link to that. The question continues. Link to that. Last question is the issue of unfortunate inferno that raised the whole of the offices and the very rich library of the theater art department some years ago. What's the department doing to put that library back on its feet? For example, could that financial assistance of some foundation, local and international, be sought? One is aware that the Nuffield Foundation is in Great Britain. Once gave about £130,000 for the building of the theater art. Similarly, the University of Southampton donate equipment. Southampton. South. You know, Southampton is Ampton. All right. Donated equipment worth several thousands of pounds to the Department of Theatre Art about the same time. One is almost certain that if the right efforts are made, there could be sufficient money coming to the department to facilitate its library resuscitation. It's obvious this university is too busy in court if you should ask it to engage in such inanities. INATIENITES, okay, as sourcing for grants. Okay, so the department must look inward and help itself to get up. What are your reactions? Wow, what a question. In case this is your first time of joining, my name is Paul-Esupofo. The Special Drama Film School Online is on now, and we come up every day, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Nigeria time, and Saturday and Sunday is 9:30 p.m. respectively Nigeria time. So in case you are a lover of art, please go ahead and invite people, or your drama group, or your drama department, or your organization who like so many things about research, knowing about theater art in Nigeria, theater art practice in Nigeria, and they want to forge more to do a lot of things. Let's go to the response of the Professor Dapo Adelugba. I agree perfectly that the department will get up and help itself. As someone would have headed the department at different times, I must say that I'm quite startled about the revelation that we had these huge grants. Laughs from the Nuffield Foundation, £130,000 in the past. That was around 1962 Well, I wasn't there. I wasn't here. So how would I have known? I was by that time on my way to America. So yes, but you have to remember that that's well over 37 years ago at that time. Okay, and what like this time is over 40 years ago, quite 40 years or going to 50 years, because this book was written 11 years ago. So if you put 11 years, that's about 48 years, over 48 years or around 47 years ago. And whatever equipment was donated then must have spent itself out by now. Indeed, that was donated to us by the National Theatre under Dr. Garba Ashiwaju. The lighting equipment of 1976, is what we are still having to cope with. And yet you yourself know that lighting technology has gone huge distance since then. Everything has. Next question. Good morning as you're joining, please. Happy birthday to Emiebers, our brother in Emiebers family. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. I could see Bemisola Emiebo. Mrs. Thank you very much for joining. Happy birthday to our brother. God bless him more and more. Long life and prosperity. Okay, as you are joining, please come in and tell us where you're watching from, your country, the state. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Please go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And please tell me if you can actually get this picture clear. If this picture is very clear, just tell me this picture is clear. Just say yes, it's clear. Or if you tell me, oh, please adjust this, because we are working out this new year to make sure we serve you better, and we also get a better lighting even during the day more for you, so that you can get a lot of things. Plus, I am begging you, please share this video. If there are a lot of people, make sure you have a lot of people that you're sharing with. Let's go to the next question. Another possible way is by locating all students of the department and asking them to donate a copy each of their long essays and dissertations and other relevant publications and cash as their own contribution towards this effort has become rather imperative. So if you are there, please share the video, share and invite as many people as possible, or share and invite. So the question goes thus, and the answer is like this. That's precisely what we have done. We asked all our old boys and girls and old girls to let us have their own personal copies of the BA, long essays, MA project essays, MPhil dissertation and PhD thesis. I think we are gradually reassembling them. The library is not as empty as it was after the Inferno. In fact, we are building up in a very beautiful way. Many of our old students have been very generous. Many of them have physically come apart from bringing their long essays and their thesis. They have brought small donation of their own old books, which they are no longer need or don't need as badly as the younger ones we need them, and so on. So we have had a lot of support from our alumni or alumni, because sometimes people don't get the alumni and alumni, whatever you call it. Alumni spell A-L-U-M-N-I. Alumni means A-L-U-M-N-E-A. All right, we are really had a lot of support with the review. That's a book with a review of English and Literary Studies. Professor Essen, A-S-E-N, and I have talked and I've promised that there will be more LACE, occasion publication, L-A, capital letter L-A-C-E, occasional publication coming out from now on. Indeed, one could think of a new strategy for this substance and see a way in which we could perhaps seek a firmer and stronger base for what was originally really an individually inspired set of activities. So I agree very much that they could have a future, and we want to work towards that, and both of us. All right, and both of us, Dr. DaSilva and Ogundeji, which means now it's Professor DaSilva. Maybe Dr. Ogundeji has also become a professor too, as at this time. I'm not aware of that. We, in fact, most likely to be part of the expanded editorial board. And he was telling them at that time, and the Professor O.DASYLVA said, "We feel very honored by your kind gesture." And the man continued to say, "Thank you very much indeed." Another word say from Professor O.DASYLVA, he said, I remember that when this interview began way back in 1999, that means it was not just taken at just 1 year, 2 years, it was taken back into 2017. Okay? When you started way back in 1999, it was Professor Femi Osofison. Did I pronounce very well? Osofison was Osofison. That was head of department then, and shortly after that you took over. How time flies, meaning a whole 3 years gone. Cutting. That is true. 2.5 years. Another question. I want to first of all congratulate you on a successful tenure. Of course, we had and still have our school calendar disrupted several times by strikes and all that, but you still managed successfully to leave an indelible mark. Indelible mark. Cotton, thank you. And it continues. And I quickly want to add that you have been a head of department at some different times before this last one. Which of those tenure will you say you found most challenging? Which one will you consider to be most exciting? Perhaps where there was a particular one you found both exciting and challenging. That's a very brilliant question. Okay, so if you're joining, please go ahead and invite people. Invite as many people. Invite your friends, family, loved ones, and let's have this very wonderful thing. All right. So you're free to invite people, and let's have what we have. Yesterday, quickly, before I responded to what he has, yesterday we had a class. We had our meeting, the transcribers meeting. It's online, strictly online. So if you want to be part of the transcribers, please feel free to join us. Feel free to join us. Make sure you're free to join us. And I want to say congratulations to Damaris Akonji on your graduation today. Congratulations. All right. So I want to make sure that I'm inviting little people. Then I go off there as I continue. Okay. The response to that is this. Difficult to say. All 4 times I've headed the department, I have felt bad. I have felt bad. I have felt bad. I did not realize the vision I had for the department. All 4 times, 1979 to 1981, 1985 to 1988, 1994 to 1997, 2000 2003, all 4 times. Good morning, Pastor Irene. God bless you. Pastor Irene Amege, thank you. All 4 times, Professor Dapo Adelugba said he had felt bad. He had felt bad. I would say that I did not actualize my vision for the department for the simple reason that we lacked funding and we lacked some of what I consider the essential infrastructure. We tried to build in some of the infrastructure at times went on. We tried, but I don't think we ever really achieved our goal. But in terms of excitement, yes, I will say that my first run in the 1979 to 1981 period was quite exciting in the sense that we had to cope with a new situation and we had to cope with what seemed like the divided between departmental thinking and thinking in other areas. It seemed as if thinking at the level of university consultancy was impinging on thinking within department, and somehow we had to marry the thinking in the department to the thinking at the higher level. To that degree, most of the time deal with a staffing situation whereby even though we had opening, we were not allowed to fill them. So how do we cope? We have to find a way of coping, and that is what we have been doing. But I'm sure that now that Shoibo committee had actually specified that Department of Theatre Art is disadvantaged, perhaps in the next few months we will be able to improve our staff. And once we have the appropriate number of staff and good ones, then we will be able to move forward. The funding aspect. The funding aspect, we are now at the crossroad. The School of Drama began in 1962-63 session. We are optimistic that at the 40th anniversary celebration, which again had been interrupted by the strike, that perhaps the department will be able to get enough support in terms of funding to be able to move forward and do some of the things we had not been able to do for a longer time. If you discover everybody talks about money, talks about fund, because if you're in drama ministry or you're in drama or theater, you discover that this is a capital intensive ministry. That's a capital intensive department. You buy lights, you buy a lot of things. Even the little one I could buy, you can see that you get a picture now. You have at least a better picture, a cool picture than, okay, this one is dark, this one is one side is dark. You know, most time when I'm just putting that, I just keep on adjusting. I just say, why? The light is coming from the same place. You forgot the rule of 3-point lighting. So you have to use the rule of 3-point lighting, and thank God I've been able to do that. All right. So you have to look at those things and all that. So in continuation to what was said, he said, when is it likely to come up? When is it likely to come up? Well, it was to have begun last December 2002. That's about how many years ago? You yourself know now. All right. So it will start as soon. That's about 16 years ago now. It will start as soon as the strike is over. That was strike at that time. So the next question, my next question still has to do with challenges in terms of the system itself, because that's another thing. Our country lacks system, understanding order. Unfortunately, well, I don't know. A lot of things will be taken care of. Okay, let's go, please, and let's make a comment. Let's write something. Thank you very much for writing. So my next question has to do with challenges in terms of system itself that does not seem to appreciate even the problem that the department has from being most disadvantaged. Could this have been as a result of wrong orientation on the part of management or the council or the Senate? Will you think that this could have affected or influenced the poor response theater has always received? Professor Adelugba responded, I think we are taught in a situation which does not quite favor us. We were caught in a situation which does not quite favor us. I mean, with the Department of History, we could have lecture being given to maybe 500 to 1,000 people without any disadvantage. But in the areas involved that amount to scientific evaluation, scientific training, maybe we have to be given a different consideration altogether. We have always asked that we should get the same staff or student ratio as medicine because our structure are similar. You understand? To medicine people, right? Like medicine, we do practical work. We do illustrations, we do demonstrations, and then theater is our library. Theater is our laboratory, rather. So we do just like any. We also say when you watch theater, theater is so peculiar to medical people too. They go to theater, in the theater, especially theater the performative and theater the edifice. You understand what I'm talking about. You need to watch my video on that. So he said, science can be conceded to us. He said maybe that would have been better, even if it is the student staff ratio which the sciences enjoy. That could be considered to us. It could certainly be better than what we have now, which is 1 to 25, 1 member of staff to 25 students in the current FTE stipulation. Another question. Though I will give you the latest thing that That's why I want to really go and interview him very fast, and that is Professor Kwasi. I want to intervene very fast so that he said something during the last program of last Friday about the NUC and what they are doing right now, about what the NUC are doing right now, and making sure that a lot of things are improving in the theater department. So let's go to the next question. When the NUC was preparing its theater art minimum standard, and most certainly that there must have been theater art experts, not necessarily from the University Ibadan, on that panel that came up with what we now have as the minimum standards. So what could possibly have gone wrong, and who do we blame? Who do we blame? Well, all these things always come, who do we blame? Well, I take responsibility when I make my mistake, but who do we blame? Let's go. Are you ready? Okay. We made the case. I served on the initial panel. It was not that we didn't make a case, but the moment you are dealing with the Faculty of Art, you insist that the Faculty of Art should carry the same staff-student ratio in all its departments, regardless of the peculiarities of some departments like us. What some departments have done, say in Great Britain, for instance, was to move theatre art out of the Faculty of Art. They moved theatre art out of the Faculty of Art. You remember, my wife will remember when we are really talking about how to really do, when we are writing curriculum, and I gave them the curriculum I have in mind, and they were right to fine-tune a lot of things, bringing a lot of things down. I said, wow, these people are genius. Cotton, Professor O.DASYLVA, Cotton. Theatre may not even move, but similarly pair up. May not even move, but similarly pair up. You can be partly in art and partly in technology, like archaeology, which is partly in the art faculty and partly in science. I think that could have been better for you. Okay, the man responded, maybe that still have to be considered because of the issue. Staff and student ratio is fundamental to any kind of meaningful development. So it is something crucial and could be explored. Another question: when did you actually end your tenure at this time around? When did you actually at this time around? I cut in short because I wanted to proceed on sabbatical leave. I would have been on till August 2003, but I vacated the seat to give myself time to enjoy my sabbatical. Technically, I would have been on till August 2003. Okay, next question. This last tenure, when you got into office, what were those things you observed that needed immediate attention? Those things you had in mind, your kind of vision when you took over. At that time, you were living. Maybe you could look back and say, "Thank God, this was how I met this place. This is how I'm leaving the place. This place," in quote. All right, and in question mark. These are primary questions. I don't want you to just think about them, and you will see the response. The response will amaze you. Now, Professor Adelugba responded. Essentially, since I had been a part of the department for a long time, I did not have the plan of involving something new. I didn't do that. I saw myself as continuing with what was a departmental growth system. I don't think I had any special vision of myself as head. I just heading the department as one of those duty thrust on as a senior member of the staff in the place, and this is common really. I knew what I was going in for, and I knew that if I had had any dream, the 1979 to 1981 period had sufficiently woken me up. If I had my further dreams, when things were really bad financially, when things almost collapsed, it would be in 1994 to 1997 period. But I I did not have any dream this time, because he has enjoyed the first dream and all that. Was like, let me continue what I've just had. So it continues. It is just that for some reasons our department is caught within two ideologies. First and foremost, I tried in 1994 to 1997 period to see if we could start to generate some money which we could find a way of keeping. But as department like the Communication and Language Art discovered, if you could try to do that, the administration has a way of doing its own work and finding out and asking you to regurgitate in quotes all the money you are trying to save to carry out some departmental project. You know what? I have a friend who can regurgitate food, especially meat. The first time he did that, in fact, the thing irritated me so much. he has eaten like 1 hour. I just do like, and he pulled and he said, "What are you eating?" He said, "I'm eating meat." Carnivorous or herbivorous, what do you call those ones? It's somebody you know anyway. It's somebody you know. I say, what? But sometimes you don't. But in this context is just to think about what you have learned. You regurgitate about all the money. So within the present financial system, it is difficult for any department really to exercise initiative fully, because some other rules are catching up with you somehow, somewhere. Okay, cutting that will defeat the purpose, stiff the vision. The man said, but we have tried to do our best to use the equipment fees of our diploma student, the production fees of production classes, of directing classes to achieve our goals minimally. As for the funding, you yourself know, as a former acting head of the English department, that even the money voted theoretically never got released on time. That is, if it was ever released at all. That is the way it has been for quite a while. Can you now see where the foundational problem started with us? Where we really have those problems with us? So that's really where we've been for a while. But you ask what goal has been achieved. I would say that when I came in as a head, I saw that the postgraduate program was moving a bit too slow. I would say that in the 2.5 to 3 years of my recent headship, students have moved faster with their research. So is the case with supervision. I think people are now completing their doctorate thesis and MPhil dissertation a little more briskly. In the past, people just kind of registered and run away. But we now insist that in theater art, if you register, you have to do the work, and after 3, 4, 5 years, you will get it done, so you don't block the passage for other would-be candidates. So what area has been quite straightened out? So that area has been quite straightened out, that we had in the past 2.5 and many defenses of PhD thesis, and that's a good one. Now I won't deceive you, that's a very, very good one. That's a very, very good one. Another question says, there is another area that perhaps people within and outside the department really appreciate as being as achievement too. That is the quality and the quantity of production. Quality and the quantity of production. Quality and the quantity of production. The man responded, I must say, essentially, with the return of Uncle Bayo Oduneye, the department has been very fortunate in that regard, and also with the vision that our students now have, they are now seeing more clearly the model, the whole graduates who are now doing well in the profession, and I think this is giving us a lot of upliftment in terms of spirit. The students now know that if they spend their energy developing either on the stage area or on the media art area, there is a future. There is a future. So I think everybody is moving with some briskness and determination towards their chosen professions. asked another question, very powerful question, mind-blowing question. All right, let me see the time because I'm going to go very soon. All right, because I've discovered something when people are watching this kind of class, especially when it's a, I discover once is a historical. It has to be exciting. It has to be. If we trust the Lord, that one day we'll be able to put a lot of pictures, put a lot of things, type a lot of things as I'm talking, and we're going to enjoy it. Putting a lot of illustrations and all that. Okay, let's take this question. Okay, after this question, I will just take a few other questions, then I will stop. The television houses, NT in particular. That's why I'm going to stop. I'm not going to read that one. That's why I'm going to stop today. Okay, let's go now. He said, I must say, he said, so that everybody is moving towards the briskly and determination towards their chosen profession. This question. There are some other things that I want to direct my attention to. Initially, when we started this interview, we were talking about the various units within the department, on speech in particular, and the fact that there is hardly any personnel in that area to the degree that somebody had to double as speech teacher and something else. You will recall that I suggested Dr. Mrs. Madiana Odumosu and Mrs. Adenike Akinjobi of the Department of English. And you also rightly suggested Mrs. Anda, A-N-D-A-H, Anda of the Department of Communication and Language Arts. And that's why I said he said we're going to have all these departments. In fact, a lot of things are coming up seriously. Apparently, these are speech specialists, and I was wondering if you finally made use of them. If you finally made use of them. This is where the problem lies. If you actually made use of them. Hear the answer. We shall have to talk to the incoming head, but I remember that you did make those very suggestions. But don't forget that it is only recently that Dr. Odumosu can be said to be a little free for such additional responsibilities outside our main department. This is because she was dealing with career issues. And as for Mrs. Anda, we had already spoken with her and she's willing. Mrs. Akinjobi could also be an asset. We will have to ask her. That was then. Another question. What specifically will you associate the following people with? What specifically will you associate the following people with? What will you associate the following people with? This is very, very, very good. Bayo Oduneye, Jide Malomo, Remi Adedokun. I have answered a similar question at the first stage of the interview. I can still do it again. Uncle Bayo directing, stage management and production. Dr. Mario, design, technical theater and aesthetics, which was very fond of. And I will say stage management, which Uncle B, that's Uncle Bayo, Uncle B kind of shared to him more or less. They never quite decided who would be doing what, and I think Dr. Mario had, as in recent years, taught our students at all levels stage management, and Uncle B has given the foundation lectures in that regard. Dr. Malomo, media management, that's a media arts, and under that we have media we have a television, TV, radio, and we have media arts. We have media arts, television, film, media arts, television, film, radio, and business management. Okay, I did theater history. In fact, I enjoy history on theater. I won't deceive you. I did theater history, theater management, and arts administration, production workshop. Just like Gavar. Maybe right now he's a doctor, Dr. Gafar. Dr. Gafar, you know, and he's also doing a great job. Though his name is not mentioned, but it's part of the recent people who studied and make things easier in terms of theater history, theater management, art demonstration. Okay, production workshop. Dr. Adedokun is quite a practical man with our short staff situation, he has been a great asset. Is a very sympathetic to our student needs. Another question then. Esinkini Olusoyin. Esinkini Olusoyin is given music and dance. Although she was a specialist in music all through her career, she tried to carry dance along with it. Who teaches dance now? Chuks Okoye. And music, Mrs. Adetilewa, formerly Mrs. Somade. What about Chuks? Dr. Chuks Okoye handles total theater criticism, theater history, but essentially dance. He is a specialist in dance and choreography. That's Dr. Chuks Okoye. All right. You're welcome, Ruth Gentility. Ruth, thank you for joining. Please go ahead and share and invite people. Thank you for joining to the platform. Thank you. Now, let's go to the question. From the look of things, the department, we still need as many hands as possible. As many hands as possible. And Professor Adelugba responded and said, we do very badly. We do very badly. We had 2 senior lecturers positions defrosted for us, and we were able to locate 2 good people before we got caught in the new directives. That council had ordered that a standstill budget be operated for now. As soon as we receive approval, we will first fill those 2 positions which are being defrosted, and then also fill the position of those who are on the leave of absence, who are not earning salaries, if only with part-time lecturers. That's why we're going to stop this morning. Tomorrow I'll continue from television houses, NT in particular. I want to thank God for your life for joining this morning. I really appreciate God for your life. I really thank God for your life for joining. If you look at this history, you see where this theater art, what transacted, what happened within the closed door, the university setting, what happened, why they struggle the students. Some students will say, oh, so this is what we are going through then. Oh, I got it. So this is what we are going through then. So you'll be able to get going through. That's all lessons of this interview, and I want to thank God for your life, because this is mind-blowing book. This is one book I'm going to do something about after I finish the whole series, because I have to do something like a small review for this book, because it's so good. Let me go to the reference mentioned today, which I told us that yesterday I read it for us. Professor Sam Omar saying, died barely 2 years after his remark was made. So most of the people, they have already gone to be with the Lord, or gone to the glory, or gone or died. All right. So you need to look at that. Monday through Friday, it's 9:30 a.m. Nigeria time. Saturday and Sunday is 9:30 p.m. Nigeria time. I want to appreciate my wife Grace Oluwabumi. Thank you, Pastor Aaron, Ruth, a lot of people, Pius, a lot of people. I want to thank God for your life, and all the groups that this is being shared with. Thank you very much for accepting. I saw a lot of people approving my post. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Till tomorrow, I remain Paul-Esupofo. Don't give up on God. God won't give up on you. God can never give up on you, because He loves you and He will do something good in your life. Go and excel. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.